No? Did anybody for raise your hand? Did anybody for us? So that means I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not here to inspire you because you're already motivated and inspired. Raise your hand, you agree. You're already motivated. So that's not the goal today. The goal is to give you insight and to help you guys to sustain your motivation, to help give you a little bit more fire, to put some more wood in there. If you're feeling a little discouraged right now, letting you know that we are here to help you, guide you, and incite you. Now, I live in Georgia now. Me and my wife and my kids moved out maybe 2.5 years ago. Arlene called me maybe about a month ago, and I couldn't even give her a date because I didn't know when I was coming back to Newark. I love my home. I'm here now, and I talk about what I do and why I'm here. But one of the things that I put this date on my calendar, and I am extremely busy. Got meetings back to back after this. Got meetings all week, and I was up in the air, and I told Arlene, I was like, I don't even know if I can commit because I got so much going on that I need to focus on, but I know how important this is. And out of all of you in here, I'm pretty sure there's a great percentage you're going to walk away, you're going to think about something, and it's going to make a difference. You're going to take another action tomorrow, and that's my goal. Right. So at the end of the day, another good brother entrepreneur right here, is my good brother right here, and we're here to show you that. So let me just tell you again, that's my story in regards to that. I'm from the bottom, I'm from that struggle, I'm from not eating, I'm from not having lights on and no heat in an apartment and not knowing. I'm watching my mother deceased, I watch her fade away, I watch her pain and try her best to take care of 4 kids with a lack of support. I watch my father beat up on her, I watched that. And as a young man, I had to look at this without any support. I don't have any football players in my family. I don't have no great entrepreneurs in my family. So I had to come all the way from down here and find a reason to survive and live. And I knew something deep down inside of me was great. And something in each one of you are great. So what we're here to do today, just put a little bit of water on it, a little bit of sunshine on it so it can sprout a little bit. And I want to say this real quickly. You'd be surprised at how many things is made in the dark. You was made in the dark when you was in the womb. The tree is made in the dark before it comes out in the ground. And I say that because sometimes in the city, it's a dark place. Do y'all agree? Yes. And it was a dark place, and what makes it a dark place? All the murders that we hear, all the killings that we hear, all the young people that's not graduating, all the negativity that we hear, it makes it a dark place. But I'm here to tell you, that's where greatness is born. And y'all gotta look at this city, and y'all gotta say to yourselves, I can make something out of myself. Why? Because it's possible. And I'm gonna tell you one of the key responsibilities y'all have. If y'all don't remember nothing else today, your responsibility is to find who made it and latch yourself on and focus on it. Why do I say that? Because you need to constantly be reminded that things are possible despite whatever your conditions is right now. Lack of money, lack of job, struggling home. Guess what? Join the party. This is where you test it at as young people. Are y'all feeling me on that?
Yes.
You understand that? So, through all of those challenges and through that journey, and it's funny because I was violent at one moment. But the streets, contribute to that. You live by the code of the streets and you do what you gotta do for your money and you do what you gotta do to earn your respect. But I was never that person. I was actually a good guy. I was actually a nice guy. But I was being changed by the street, by the code of the streets. And then when I go into prison, then that was trying to change me. And then I said to myself, I'm uncomfortable. Let's play something out real quick. Think about it. Everything right now, if we look at all the youth in your age and your bracket right now, life ain't nothing but a roadmap. It's nothing but a journey. Life of little journeys. So in my journey, I had got to a point where I said, ain't nowhere in the world I can see myself in prison for the next 20 years. And I knew I was a good guy. I didn't belong there. Do anybody here belong in prison? Yes or no? No. Exactly. So you got to make that conscious now. And the only reason why I say that and why I bring that up, because that threat is in our city. Do y'all agree? Death is a threat in our city. Do y'all agree?
Yeah.
So I gotta go there first so y'all understand how to stay conscious as you navigate and build your businesses, because you got a lot of distractions. Do y'all agree? Okay, so let me keep going. So when I made that decision, I lost my mom's. I'm borderline homeless, in and out of hotels. I got my daughter. I'm having my daughter when I was 19, 20 years old. I remember me being curious, keyword curious, and wanting to know an answer, wanting to know, is there a better way? Wanting me to know, it gotta be better than this. It calls you to search. You guys are here because it's a little bit obvious that you're curious how to start a business, right? How to start a business. I ran into a program called the Young Fathers Program at UMD. And I was young, I was a father, and I needed a program. I'm about to make a point. I joined that program, I think it was about, I would say 95, 94. And I went there because the program was catering to young men that had kids that needed support. So the step one I did to help my life is I joined the program. And I found a good program. Mr. Dixon, right now today I can get emotional thinking about this man because they made a difference in my life. So one of your responsibilities is to stay searching for support. Make no excuses if no one in the household is not supporting you. Don't make no excuses if your friends are not supporting you. You take an initiative. There's programs like this that's already in play that's built to support you. There's plenty of entrepreneurs out there in the city that will support you. So rule number one, no excuses. Say no excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses. So I joined the program. That to me was like a fighter fighting a fight. And what a program and what a support system does, it's like the cut man in a corner. You ever get tired? You ever seen a boxer get tired and he gotta sit down? He's like this. He might be losing, he might be winning, but at the end of the day, he needs someone to say, keep your jab up, keep it low, here's some water, get your breath. You got it, you can do this, champ, let's go. That's important. You wanna know why? Because we all get tired. Yeah, we get tired. We talk all the time, we get tired. She get tired, we get tired, your parents get tired. We all get tired. Like trying to figure it out, trying to make money, trying to make sense out of confusion. So I'm telling you now, one of the secrets, one of the things that's gonna be valuable, one of the things that's gonna be critical is that you find a way to join a program or find someone that's in your corner as a mentor, as a support, as you go through your challenges in life. You're gonna need that. Do anybody agree with me on that? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just telling you, it's very important. You do what you gotta do to get that support in your corner. You don't give up until you get it. Don't make no excuse, I can't find nobody. That's just punking out on life. And I'm gonna tell you this, not for nothing, God don't make no promises he don't keep. And I'm gonna say this because I'm a believer in God. I'm sorry, I gotta bring it in here. Y'all believe in God, raise your hand. Okay, let me explain something to you. His promise is on the other side of the P's. What the hell is the P's? I'm gonna break it down to you. I had to learn this. Until you're able to fight and endure and get through your problems and fight through the pressure and fight through people and fight through everything that's in front of you, you can't get to his promise. Because he needs you at a certain strength. And you can't be at a certain strength until you're being built up through character. Your muscle's no good unless you work that muscle, right or wrong. You gotta, when you go in the gym, you decide that you want to get strong, you gotta build that muscle. And that's what life do. It builds your character. And your character is gonna make you strong. What that got to do with entrepreneurship? Well, guess what? You can't run no business if you ain't strong. You can't run no business if you can't handle pressure. It's just a dream at that point. So what I had to learn is, number one, is try to find some support. Secret number two, and it's not a secret, but it's just make you aware. You gotta read. You gotta go, you gotta continue. If the mentor ain't there and the coach ain't there, you go buy it. Go buy the coach. Go buy the mentor. Go buy the advisor. Go buy him. He's in a book. Go buy him. Call them, hit them up. And I'm only saying this because we make too many excuses to not to take the next step, or not to be able to live our dreams without the bill. We are from these, all three of us. Y'all don't realize who y'all got in this room right now. When I tell you, we were all at our death point, been shot, watch people die, we've been there. And we looking good today. And we rise today. And our job right now is to come back. We have a debt to our society. We have a contribution that we have to give. And this is our social commitment back to you guys. Why? Because y'all coming right behind us. We want to be confident that, if you ready and willing and able, I want to be able to look at your app and say, you know what? Not only if I'm going to bring it into the company, but I'm going to make a partner in the next 2 years, provided she perform. Not an employee, but a partner. Because we're going to be all right. But how do you qualify to be a partner? So this is why I'm talking about character, and we're going to that a little later. So I'm going back to my beginning. And what happened was, in that process, my company is called Mission Entertainment. And I started Mission Entertainment, taking care of my sisters, taking care of my brothers. Both my brothers at the time, one of my brothers was in San Quentin, California, the other one was in Broadway. So I was dealing with that pressure and just trying to maintain 3 women in the house. It was rough. When I tell you rough, and I had to do my own time on top of that. So I got into the entertainment business because it was a way to create an exit for me, not to go back to the streets. And it was an opportunity for me to use my natural gifts, my natural talents, which I was always good with people. I was always good making things happen. So at the end of the day, I thought it was a perfect opportunity for me to start bus rides. I started pulling people together. I mean, you guys hear about parties all day long, people throwing parties. That's not actually what I do. I put together extreme upscale events. I put together brands. I'm a brand builder, not a party thrower. So I want to be very clear in the distinction what I do. And just to kind of give you an example of some of the history, some of the things, we've now done some of the biggest venues in this country, in New Jersey,
right.
in this nation, which is MetLife Stadium. Was a huge project for us. NJ Pat, we're doing something at NJ Pat with Faith Evans, Carl Thomas, 112 Total, October 18th. Prudential Center, Rebel, where they going through what they're going through now, Rebel. We don't use clubs. Everything we do is major. So what's the big deal in that? Well, let me tell you what the big deal was. The big deal was that I was a young man that came through everything that I went through and became one of the #1 event producers of Newark, New Jersey. Well respected, we did very well. We started with $100, almost built a company to close to $500,000 a year, hired people, gave jobs. Our office at 211 Warren Street has been very influential. And guess what? Without a college degree, and I don't say anything bad about that, but I've put myself in a position where I have just as much impact and influence. How is that possible? Well, part of it is because I decided and I choose to be. And part of that is the strategy of aligning myself with people that actually care. Do everybody just raise your hand? Do people believe that people out there care? Do y'all believe that there's folks out there that care? You do, right? Okay, so the fact that you believe that people care, guess what? That's your responsibility to connect with those people because you said they care. And you need to identify them as far as your plan. So what that means, building all of that, building Mission Entertainment and building a brand, building something that people was excited about, people was interested in coming to. What that did was it forced me to learn more about me, who Shariff James was. It forced me to learn how to run a business, how to run a staff, how to negotiate, how to manage money, how to actually position myself, how to learn me. So this course and this training, and you tell me if I'm right on it, this is about starting a business, am I right?
Absolutely.
So let me just talk about real quick. Y'all got the book on starting business. I'm not gonna go into bookkeeping, I'm not going into marketing, I'm not doing none of that. Y'all can read on that. What I'm gonna talk to you about today, what's important for success and sustainability. Number 1, your credibility. Tap him. Credibility, fam.
I hear what you said. I'm just thinking.
Okay, good. Good answer. Good answer. Your credibility. What do I mean by your credibility? The secret to beating your competition is your credibility. Your credibility. That's basically meaning whatever she says she do or she says she's gonna do, she do it. So that means that her trust will outdo your trust if you don't have any. So it doesn't matter if you start a business tomorrow. It doesn't matter if you raise $1 million. It don't matter if you go and you got 10 employees. If your employees don't trust you, your investors don't trust you, your suppliers don't trust you, and the customers don't trust you, where are you going?
Nowhere.
You're going nowhere. And you done put all this energy into it. Look at a basketball player, right? The one that actually does well is this guy can have all the energy in the world. But if this guy got better skills, you're like, ooh, look at his skills. Your skills is gonna be so critical. And one of the number one skills is communication. Communication. And being able to communicate, when y'all go to it's next week, right?
This Thursday? Week, Thursday.
When you get up and you stand and you talk about your presentation and you guys look and y'all present, it's your ability to articulate and to communicate your vision, why your idea is valuable, what you're planning of succeeding, and why they should invest and make you the winner. Your ability to communicate that. Your ability to communicate your plan. So I want to drive home one of the most important points is your skills. And I only say that because when I step in, I'm like, yo, why am I failing here? Why am I coming up short here? And I'm like, yo, you gotta get your skills together, dog. That's me telling me, like, I gotta start with me. I can't be like, yo, the market, the competition, I can't my employee, I can't do nothing. I gotta look at me. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling y'all gotta jumpstart. Like we went bootstrap. Ain't nobody sit down and take hours out to show us what to do. We learned in the water. So while y'all on land, y'all need to really understand and appreciate what we come to. Because the only thing that we doing today, we ain't gonna guarantee success because that's impossible. What we can do is reduce your failure rate and we increase the odds of success. And the way we increase the odds of success is by taking insight from gentlemen like us, and what it do is it cut your learning curve down a little bit. Mm-hmm. There's a learning curve y'all gotta go through in business. There's gonna be a learning curve. And in that learning curve, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna cost you money. It's gonna cost somebody money. Mm-hmm. How many of y'all ever cooked a dinner before, and in that dinner or that food, you just messed something up? And you gotta start all over, you gotta get new batter, or you did something wrong, and you gotta buy that product again to make that food. How many of y'all did that before? Well, it's the same thing in business. If you don't know what you're doing, eventually you won't in the beginning, it's gonna cost you. So the smart thing to do is to have individuals like us access to programs like this so you guys can cut your learning curve down. That's a concept. Hopefully y'all get that. I don't know if y'all know how huge, what I'm saying, how important that is for you to go, you know what, I want to start my business. I got $500 saved up. My mom's or my uncle, somebody gonna give me another $1,000. Okay, this is what I want to do. Ideas a dime a dozen. Nobody cares about an idea. Could your idea make money? And once you say your idea is gonna make money, then the other question is, do you got the skills that it takes to start, run, manage, grow, and eventually sell your business? Because the real deal is to build a business that is so valuable that other people want to get involved. Am I right? Mm-hmm. That's the goal. If you can't do that and you can't attract other people that want to get involved with your business, you don't have a business. You just built a job for yourself. You just trapped into some day-to-day operation stuff and taking care of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Feeling good that you're in business. So I'm gonna wrap up by saying, guys, listen, I congratulate you. I hope that I've said some things that will come home and stick to you. I hope that I said some things that resonate with your spirit. What I gave y'all is just a little bit about me, how I got here today. I kind of dealt with the city because I know that's a big barrier in our city. Unfortunately, thank God for programs like this. We don't have a lot like this. And Jim, we gotta kind of talk about how we can kind of blow things up like this more and take them away in a weekend and really, really get down to the gritty of what it is to grow a business out of the city. Because I believe sometimes the environment changes the strategy and approach. It's just depending on what environment you're in. Do we have any questions at all? Other people would take advantage of it. I learned that the hard way. I didn't even know my worth at one time. I was just doing my thing, just building numbers, and I didn't know how to make sense out of it. because there was no blueprint. So you create your own blueprint sometimes. So yeah, passion is critical. Critical. However, it has to be balanced with numbers. So you got to be able to approach a business with, here's a quote, and I think I got this from Shark Tank. Great emotion starts business, but profit and management sustains business. So you use the passion to lift it, to start it, but at the end of the day, it's about that oxygen and that gas in that business. Because if there ain't no oxygen in there, and ain't no blood in that business, your passion gonna die anyway. Because you're gonna go into survival mode, you're gonna go into desperate mode, because you ain't got no money. So now the passion becomes a different energy. So you really gotta balance that out. So that's part of your business plan, that book is really looking at your financials, understanding that. I'm gonna encourage everybody, if you don't do nothing else, there's 2 classes, all those functions is actually critical. But I think one of the biggest functions there is really understanding financials. And it's not sexy, numbers are not sexy. But you better marry them, you better get close to them. Because if you're gonna get rich, and one day if y'all wanna be wealthy, and you wanna get out of the hood, you're gonna have to be able to articulate those numbers. And you're gonna have to be able to sell your numbers. And you're gonna have to, and people with money need to know that you know your numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How you gonna get people to give you money or be a part of you if you can't talk about your numbers? So business is complicated. It's not as easy as people make it. Am I right, gentlemen? It is not as easy as people think. It's not that easy, but it's possible. Any other questions?
What would you say is the key towards success?
It's a combination. Ain't no one key. It's a combination. And one of them, if it was one thing or a couple things, I would never say one thing because everything is a combination in life. Number one is definitely being consistent, persistent. Your habits is going to be critical. If you don't have great habits, and I'm talking about habits of success, getting up on time, showing up on time, returning phone calls, following up, being able to be courteous when you need to. If you don't have good habits, you got bad attitudes and stuff like that, you're gonna actually kill yourself anyway. You're gonna circumvent your own success. So it's really about you building yourself. The real key to success is you investing in you. If you develop you, you're gonna find your way eventually. But you gotta invest in you. And don't live up to society's standards. Like one thing I just came to is like follow American dream. That's all bullshit. The American dream is rigged. Don't even follow that. Follow God's dream. Follow your vision. Build your plan on your situation.
That's right.
Don't follow nobody else's because I can't tell you to follow my plan because my story dictated my strategy. So you gotta build from where you are. Like I just told my little grandson, we in the mall, I put the picture up. We are here. You gotta start somewhere. And you gotta build that strategy where you are. It's like a doctor. Like he can't give you the same antidote as him. We gotta check you out and until I know a situation, I can't give you an antidote. Until I know everything.
Right.
So you build your plan based on your situation. And just to translate that a little better, if you know like you don't have the support, that means your strategy is a little different because you gotta go get support at some point. If you know that you're in college and you're about to go to school and you got pressure to work, that means your plan and building your business plan is gonna take a little time because you got other commitments. So you can't even follow anything else. Only thing you can do is take the principles and take the drinks and just apply them when the time comes. So you gotta build your plan based on your situation, if that makes sense. What else? You got another question? What? Yeah, go ahead.
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
The first question is, do you ever consider going to get a college education?
Yes, I do. For the sake of having it, I think going to college should be a strategy. I think one should have a reason for going to college. I don't think they should just go because everyone say go. We already know that college education is very costly. And if you don't have a scholarship, you can find yourself coming out of college with no job and with a lot of debt. So you have to be very careful with that commitment and make sure that that commitment lines up with a real strategy. I think one of the biggest benefits to going to college, depending on your university, is you go for the networking. And you go to build contacts that's gonna run the world.
That's right.
And you get aligned with people that's gonna run the world. That's a huge return on investment.
That's right.
So if you're gonna go to college, what's the point of going and you come out and you don't know nobody and you can't get in? What it does is it gives you a ticket in the stadium, but it doesn't allow you to play the game. What allows you to play the game and get the check is that you gotta know somebody and they gotta know you. And that goes back to credibility. If your credibility ain't tight and you ain't that person that can produce, you won't get them checks, you won't get those positions. And that's the reality. And I think college is great, provided that there's a strategy. You